Morning everyone. Here's the Everything Attachments grapple bucket dual piston setup. This is a long-term review. I've had this thing for probably 3 years now, and I've got probably 100 hours on this unit here. It's got the quick attach, it's got the hydraulic, dual piston, and it's, you know, their claim to fame, it's made out of hard ox or hardened metal. And it certainly is hardened metal. I haven't got one bend in this thing, and you can tell I've used this quite a bit. There's a couple things I don't like about it, but the rest of it I do, which are minor. When I first bought this, I was reading some reviews. People didn't like this bend because it would wear out the hydraulics. As you can see, here's a close-up. It's got a little notch in it, nothing crazy. The other side I did move. I did not move this side. Never get around to it. I guess the solution would be to kind of cut this or bend this flange up a little bit, if you can even do it, because like I said, this is hardened steel, and it's pretty thick, and that might be quite difficult to do, but like I said, I never did it. Probably should get around to it at some point, or just maybe put a little guard on this, or maybe get this down and cover it up. I'll figure that out now that I'm looking at that. Like I said, it uses you know, your high flow hydraulics up and down. This is your articulating or hoses that come with it. The original hose is actually this one, which has a swivel. The second one I bought, actually second or third one I bought, because these tend to get dangled down and they fall down in here when you're using the machine, and they can get pinched up. So this one is probably my second or third one. Second, made by Tractor Supply, or bought by Tractor Supply. And they don't seem to be as good as these powering, you know, extra tough hoses from Auxiliary Hydraulics. I mean, I'm sorry, Everything Attachments. So probably gonna call them up and have them just ship me out one. But anyway, I've used this machine quite a bit, and this is the B2601 with this grapple bucket on it. And this thing, I mean, it moves everything. There's no problems with this. Big, large stones. You can see these stones. A lot of these stones I've moved for this bucket and this grappling. And like I said, I'll fire up the machine. You can see what's happening with this. And I'll twist it up so you can see the actual wear on the product. That's me using the thumb control pinching mechanism, and we'll take a walk around the front. I'll shut this off so you can see what's actually worn on this machine. So here's the implement here. You can see nothing's bent. I mean, you can see some wear on the teeth, which is nothing crazy. Like I said, I've used this to move rocks, branches, brush, anything I can pick up with it that I need to pick up, that I can't physically pick up myself, I've used this for. And, you know, I have touched up the paint on it with some POR 15. I do grease this as needed. You know, you can see that, and it's got the grease fittings here, and again, you've got this hose that tends to wear on this section here, and that's about it. Like I said, this is got quite a bit of hours on it and a ton of use, and I'll show you how it works in a second, and we'll fire it off, and I'll pick up a few piles and run it around here on the property, and you can see what this thing can do. Alright, I'm going to pick up this, speed this up a little bit, and pick up a few things with this so you can see what I'm doing. So, a small pile. There we go. I mean, no problems. What I'm going to do is going to around to where I need to bring it. Now here's a word of advice. I've been using this machine quite a bit and I'm pretty experienced with it. This log sticking out about an extra 6 feet on the side of the bucket is usually a no-go, because what it'll do, it'll bend these arms. If you've got too much weight on one side, it'll bend these arms, and it can actually snap one of these arms on you, which is not too cool. Or if you hook something with this, let's say I'm carrying this down low, and I hook that tree that's coming up on the right, they said you can flip this machine pretty easily, depending on how high you're carrying this. I'm feathering the brake at the same time that I'm using this, and I'm rolling down the hill using the hydraulics on this to slow the machine down. And you can see the pile I got going in front of me. These are all trees that have been cut down on the lot that need to be moved around. So basically I'm going to take my time. I've got weighted tires on this machine also. Basically just drop the pile. So I'm going to show you something that's pretty interesting with the machine. Go down here, travel with it down. I usually travel with the bucket shut, the grapple bucket. Now here's a pretty big stone. I mean, you can see the size of this stone or rock, whatever you want to call it, in comparison to the size of this grapple bucket. Now obviously this is like to the extreme, but I just want to show you what it'll do. I'm going to put this machine in low. I'm going to come down on this thing, and I'll pinch it with this bucket, and voila. I've actually picked this stone up. And like I said, you can see it start to bend a little bit from the pressure on this. I'm going to slow this machine down. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to take a quick look at this rock so you can see what's going on. I mean, come on. Look at the size of that. And you can move this, you know, like I said, I can move this rock around the property. I'm not flying around in high gear. I'm in low and taking my time. I'm not lifting it up above my head, above the front of the machine. I've got about a foot off the ground, but I can travel with this. And I can move these rocks around with this grapple bucket. And like I said, I've done this, you know, 80 hours anyway on this implement. And this is the kind of stuff you can do with this machine. I mean, these piles are pretty well big, and well, they're pretty big piles. And like I said, you can get a lot of stuff done. I'm just going to drop this somewhere else, and I'll show you what else we can do with this. I get this one out of here. I don't want to be driving around with this. I don't need it right now. I'm going to put it back out of here, out of the way. Spot where I can get rid of it. Alright, so we got the machine in low. So let's take a look at what we can do with this pile over here. Well, you got a rock wall you got to build. This rock wall's been here. But let's pick out a stone. So let's say we want this stone, one of these stones here. So what we do is we take the machine, we bring it up, and we can pinch just that one stone with the edge of the implement. Let's take a look at it again. I'm going to drop it down, safety's sake. We got one stone in the bucket. So let's put that stone back on the wall. Bring this back over here, just sort of where I want it to be. Drop it back in. So we've got that. We've got a little stone on the ground here. Drop the bucket down, tilt it forward, pinch it. Now I've picked up that little tiny stone that was on the ground. And of course the camera phone, or whatever you want to call it, shut off. So let's try it again. Driving along the property, we got a little stick here, a little tiny stick. Something I don't want to get off the machine on. Screw my shoulder, my back up. Take the bucket, tilt it down, feather it down nice and easy, bring it in. Guess what? We've picked up the little tiny stick. We can bring it over here, drop it down into this pile. Well, we got a load of firewood over here. Let's see what it does with that. That can be quite a pain in the ass, to tell you the truth, because it's all in little crazy pieces. Well, let's see what it does. We'll go over to the old firewood, which is pine. Now look at this. Let's see what we got with this. Dig it in there, crank it down. Not too good. Look it. Not too good at all. Let's see what we can do. Let's try it one more time. Get it in the pile. Squeeze it. A few random pieces. What I found out with the firewood is it can be done, but what has to happen is firewood is, you know, different sizes, different shapes. It gets a little puzzly in there. So what you can do is the same method. You can go to the corner of the bucket and you can squeeze what you want and pick it up with the corner of the bucket. That was a crappy job. Let's try it again. Over here, let's grab a couple of pieces, like I said, and then you can move around a few pieces at a time. You know, this is pine, so it's kind of like, it's not the easiest to move after a while. But you can see over here on the right, all of that got moved with this machine. It's a pretty big logs in there. And you can pull a whole tree out with this. Not out of the ground, obviously, but you can pull it down and drag it. What I usually do is I'll take the implement and I'll go at the machine or at the tree that's laying down, and I'll grab it by the root base. You've got some branches that are over here on the other side of this rock wall. What you can do is you can take your machine, you can bring it in, and you can, let's see what we got here. This might be kind of interesting because it's kind of counted down low. I'll reach over the top, hook it, bring it up, and you can grab that. I don't want to destroy this. I've got some rocks in the way, but I'm using the front of the grapple at this point to pull it up. Well, I'm not going to get that one. It's just a little bit too low for this to reach. I've got a dump trailer up here. Loads everything in the dump trailer fine. They do say on everything attachments that you can take the front tooth bar, you can see it way up there, and you can actually put it down like that and take it down, angle it, and back drag. So you can back drag with it. What I found is, you can see I did do a back drag in front of the machine. What I did find with that is if you hit some rocks or some, you know, some stumps or some roots, probably mess up this attachment, so I don't really recommend that in that area. I'm going to take a ride up here. I'm going to speed this up a little bit and get up that hill. And like I said, this whole lot's been done with this. What we're going to do is, here's a tree right here, right? We'll put it in low. That's a pretty big tree. That's a 30-footer, a piece of maple. Put it in low. I'm going to grab the tree at the base, just the corner. Actually, I cut this one already. So let's just show you what's going to happen with this. Again, there we go. We get this one out of here. Got some dirt in there, unfortunately. But take this piece, lower it down quite a bit because I don't want to flip this machine. That's pretty close there. Pretty big angle. Take my time, slow it down a bit, make this spin on the hill. But anyway, we can bring it back in here. I'm going to drop that one down lower. I get dirt in that pile. I don't really want that. Same thing, a few rocks. I'm going to move that rock out of there. Take it. There we go. I got the rock. Like I said, I'm using the brake conjunction with the, you know, the gas pedal. Figure out what I'm going to do with this. I got a pile of rocks going over here. We'll take this, we'll run it down here a little bit. Now, I'll tell you what's pretty cool about this implement is, let's get this thing over here. Oh yeah, that's pretty cool. a lot of mud here, right? So what I've done with this is I've actually used the implement when I've got stuck. I stick the front end in it like this and pull the machine forward. The back end stuck in the ground. Just drive it right into the ground. And look at this. So in conjunction with the forward control, if you're stuck in some mud like that, you can actually pull the machine out. So anyway, that's pretty much the gist of this attachment. Like I said, very happy with this. The attachment is wearing really well. I've got a lot of use out of it, and I got nothing bad to say about this piece of equipment here. I just think, like I said, I just think this product is, it's unbelievable for what it is. They do sell a single pin, not a single pin, but a single piston, not these guys, but they do sell a single piston. I don't know if they have one, but they do carry a single piston grapple bucket. Some people have other people have reviewed from other manufacturers. I don't like the single pin because I can't see as well through the bucket as I'm using it. I had to add this. It's my second one, because as you're picking up brush, you know, you will drive that brush through the radiator. So that was, I guess that's a warning to tell you. As you're picking up the brush, it tends to come through here, and it'll poke holes. And you can see this. I mean, this is pretty well fired up, and that's pretty thick steel. Like I said, I have ripped off the hydraulic hoses, moving brush. It just catches it and goes through this bucket. Some other people have welded or put mesh back there. I don't recommend that. You know, you can use that for leaves. I have used this for leaves. It's close enough that you can actually scoop up the pile if they're wet and move the leaf piles around. And that's about it. I don't know what else to tell you. If you got any questions for me, you can just ask. It's like I said, it's on the B2601. It's a 26, I believe around 26 horsepower machine. I think this is the I'm pretty sure this is the 5-foot everything attachments. It's not the 48-inch. That would be too small for this, but I believe it's a 5-footer. And like I said, I haven't broke it. I've used it for quite a few things. And like I said, the size of the rock I just showed you is pretty amazing to what you can do with this thing. All right, good luck.